Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 2월 19일 수요일 최수진의 모닝 스페셜입니다. From time to time, certain words become the center of attention for the meaning they carry. They can represent a situation, or in this case, a person whose talents are so great that even a strong and negative word like monster can become a source of pride and achievement. 최근 미국의 CBS 스포츠는 메이저리그 나이별 최고의 선수를 선정했는데요. 만 33세에 해당하는 최고의 선수로 휴스턴 애스트로의 외야수 마이클 브랜틀리를 꼽았다고 합니다. 안타깝게도 같은 나이에 코리안 몬스터 류현진 선수가 선정되지 못했는데요. 해당 기사를 작성한 기자에 따르면 내가 류현진의 건강에 확신을 가졌다면 류현진을 선택했을 것이다. 이렇게 밝혔습니다. 사실 류 선수에 대한 평가에서 빠지지 않는 것이 바로 건강 문제인데요. 코리안 몬스터 류현진 화이팅입니다. 더 이상 부상당하는 일이 없기를 염원합니다. And with that in mind, here's a quiz question. The Korean monster Ryu Hyun-jin is currently a something for the Toronto Blue Jays. 1번 pitcher, 2번 sitter, 3번 matcher. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다. 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 보내는 방법은요. 반디 게시판 무료로 이용할 수 있고요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시면 되겠습니다. Now let's start the show by greeting the one and only Steve Hadley. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, my morning monster.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, do you like that title?
Why not?
Yeah, it's true. The word monster comes out in sports sometimes with a very positive meaning. Another thing that comes out with a positive meaning is the word beast.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like he's a beast, she's a beast. And what that means is they are very strong and powerful in the sport that they do.
맞아요. 몬스터도 비스트도 다 원래는 괴물, 야수 이런 뜻이 있지만 스포츠에서 때로는 아주 좋은 극찬으로 쓰이기도 합니다.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. Well,
counterintuitive, perhaps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I am here in the studio with our very own morning beast, Steve.
The monster and the beast.
The monster and the beast.
I thought you were going to say beauty. No, it should be Beauty and the Beast.
Monster and the beast for today.
Sure, fair enough. How you doing today? You good?
I'm good. Yeah, how are you?
Not so bad. I thought I was coming down with a little bit of a cold.
Oh, no.
But the good thing, I guess I should knock on wood because I only get sick about once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
And when I do get sick, it only lasts for about a day or two, and then it goes away. And I thought I was coming down with something, and I thought, oh no, it's only February. I don't want to use my 1 or 2 times already in 2020, but I'm feeling back to normal today, so I think I was able to avoid it.
Yeah, as I was telling you before the show today, that one day that you were sick, the video for that popped up on my video streaming site yesterday. Last year. Yeah, it was apparently October. And I have to commend you for being able to get back on your feet again after a day. Because as you know, I've been sick for a few months. I'm okay now. I'm completely fine. But it took me a while to get back to normal. But for you, it was just one day.
Yeah, but well, thank you, but that's not a fair comparison because I live alone. I don't have any extra responsibilities outside of walking and feeding my dog, so it's easy for me to recover. I have a friend too. He is a business owner. He's a restaurant owner, and for him, whenever he catches a cold, he's sick for about 3 months because he's so busy.
Yeah.
When you do get sick, you need the time to recover. But when you leave here, that's when when your real job starts, taking care of your children and your family and things
Yeah.
like that. So it's completely understandable. If
Well,
I had to do that, I'd be sick for 3 years in a row, never mind 3 months in a row.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're well, and I hope everyone this morning is well as well. Being, with the coronavirus going around and the times being what they are right now, it's a really sensitive time
It really
to
is.
come down with anything.
Yeah, it's true.
yeah.
And, we are in cold and flu season anyway.
Yeah.
Outside of what's happening with COVID-19. So, we're going to go over some questions and some answers again this morning, which I think is important to just make sure it's always at the forefront of our mind, right?
Exactly. Well, these questions and answers have been provided by Professor Jeon Byung-ryul, former head of the Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Let's go over them one by one. 오늘도 코로나19 감염 예방법에 대한 몇 가지 Q&A 형식의 안내 드리겠습니다. First question. So the 29th confirmed patient's route of infection has been announced. And apparently there were 114 people who were in direct contact with this 29th patient. What can members of the public who find themselves along this path do?
Yes. So I'm going to give these answers. And if I say, a word like we, remember that these answers were provided by the professor. So I'll be speaking on his behalf.
Yep.
We define Jongro-gu in Seoul as a limited community under the threat of infection, and residents in this area should take measures accordingly, such as reporting any symptoms of respiratory disease or fever to health authorities immediately. Those who were in the area at the same time the patient was, or between February 5th and 16th, as well as those who were in or around the clinic or pharmacy or the physician's office and the senior welfare center, should report to health authorities immediately of any symptoms such as fever, sore throat, coughing, or fatigue, and receive an examination.
네, 그렇습니다. 29번째 확진자의 이동 경로가 공개된 가운데 2월 5일부터 16일까지 이분과 같은 경로에 계셨던 분들 중에서 여러 가지 지금 인후통, 기침, 피로감 등이 보인다면은 즉각 보건당국에 신고하시길 바라겠습니다. There are times when the symptoms are quite mild. And what should you do? Should you still report these symptoms to the health authorities?
To get a checkout, yes. The symptoms can be mild, but they can be a sign of infection. So any symptom or minor discomfort has to be reported to health authorities and be treated properly.
네, 경미한 증상이라도 체크를 받으시는 게 좋겠습니다. Now, also, there are people who wear masks all day long and then, right before entering their homes, they throw them out. Now, I understand there's a recommended way of disposing of these, how to take them off, how to throw them away. Tell us about that.
There are mask safety regulations that need to be followed. It is recommended that you remove the mask by grabbing the strap, not the fabric of the mask. And if you have an alcohol-based disinfectant available, spray it on the mask before disposing it to prevent any possible contamination. The mask should be safely disposed of in a designated garbage bag. And if you must wash your hands with soap for more than 30 seconds after you take off your mask to avoid the risk of contracting any infection. So I guess if you take off your mask safely and dispose of it safely outside your home, I guess that means when you do enter your home, please wash your hands as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and it hadn't occurred to me that you can actually get contaminated by touching the outside of your masks.
I learned about that. Well, I learned about the inside of the masks by watching a video online. The doctor in that video was saying, people just, you don't even think about it, right? It's like taking a hat off your head. You just grab it. But the inside of the mask, and I guess the outside too, it's possible to be contagious.
그렇습니다. 마스크 처리하는 방법에 대한 안전 관리 수칙을 안내해드렸는데요. 마스크 표면이 아닌 끈을 잡아서 마스크를 벗는 게 좋다고 하고요. 마스크를 버린 후에도 반드시 손을 30초 이상 비누로 씻으셔야 하겠습니다. Final question. At coffee shops these days, it's hard to find disposable cups or, single-use cups, and instead we use reusable mugs. But because of the fear of coronavirus spreading, Do we have to be extra careful with these reusable cups?
The Ministry of Environment regulates disposable products in accordance with the Act on Saving Resources and Promoting Recycling Products. But lately, due to COVID-19, disposable products are available in places such as airports, harbors, and train stations. Reusable mugs should be disinfected thoroughly, so customers shouldn't be too worried about using them.
네, 그렇습니다. 뭐 일회용 컵을 제공하면 편할 수는 있지만 환경을 보호한다는 측면에서 머그컵 사용하는 게 좋겠고요. 제대로 소독만 한다면은 크게 불안해하지 않으셔도 된다고 합니다. All right. Well, those were some guidelines provided by the former head of the CDC, Professor Chon Byung-ryul. Okay, with that said, let's start today's global headlines. 자, 이제 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
Amid the ongoing COVID-19 epidemic, China has closed all schools, including kindergartens, primary and secondary schools, and colleges indefinitely.
코로나19 확산으로 중국의 초중 고교와 대학교의 개학이 무기한 연기될 전망입니다.
An additional 88 people have tested positive for COVID-19 on the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship off the Japan coast, bringing the total number of cases to 542.
일본 요코하마항에 정박한 크루즈선 다이아몬드 프린세스에서 88명의 코로나19 감염자가 추가 확인돼 총 542명으로 늘어났습니다.
Germany and Iran have carried out a prisoner swap.
독일과 이란이 상대국 수감자를 맞교환했습니다.
Authorities in the state of Mississippi have declared a state of emergency amid historic flooding.
2월 폭우로 미국 미시시피주 일대에 물난리가 나면서 주 당국이 비상사태를 선포했습니다. And you can listen to those headlines again free of charge by going to our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어가시면은요. 지금 읽어드린 헤드라인 무료로 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one this morning: amid the ongoing COVID-19 epidemic, China has closed all schools, including kindergartens, primary and secondary schools, and colleges indefinitely.
네, 그렇습니다. 3월부터 샹하이의 경우에는 이제 온라인 수업을 한다 이렇게 발표를 했고요. 무기한 방학 방침을 발표한 첫 번째 major city가 되겠습니다. Shanghai has led these trends, if you will, of taking extra breaks, prolonging certain vacations, or even work at companies as well. And it's doing the same for schools.
Yeah, schools in Shanghai are to remain closed indefinitely and will offer online classes from March to ensure the safety of students and teachers during this COVID-19 outbreak, according to education authorities. Previously, on the 5th of February, so exactly 2 weeks ago, the Shanghai Education Commission announced that all local schools, including kindergartens, primary and secondary schools, and colleges, they're going to remain closed until the end of February. And Lu Jing, who is the director of the commission, said that these latest decisions were made on current developments.
Mm-hmm. We don't know when this is going to end. Shanghai has said that they'll see how the situation turns out, and they could, eventually have the students go back to school. But for now, it is indefinite, as you said.
That is correct. And he also said that primary and secondary schools will begin online teaching on the second day of March, and students will not need to physically attend school. A new date for students to return will be announced later. We don't know when that is going to be. Mm-hmm. He said that the commission had worked out guidelines for schools of basic, vocational, and higher education, selected teachers for the production of recorded classes, provided teaching materials, and built up platforms to deliver online classes. So they did have a plan, or they do have a plan that they're going to put in place. But I did see an interesting post online on Facebook yesterday. I'm a member of a Facebook group. It's expats in Korea. Mm-hmm. And this girl had posted a message saying, I'm a teacher from China. She's not Chinese, but she's a teacher that lives in China.
Okay.
And she has to stay in Korea indefinitely because she can't go back. And now her school in China has informed her that she needs to be teaching online classes starting very soon. And I'm guessing this is exactly what she was talking about. And what she was saying, and yesterday we talked about the expression far-reaching, right? And we said that this COVID outbreak has far-reaching implications.
Yeah.
And this is another one of those implications because this girl had only come to Korea for a very short time, for a little break. She doesn't know anybody here. She doesn't know how to use the subway. She was asking, which messenger service should I be using? She said, I need a crash course on Korea because I don't know how long I'm going to be here.
An acquaintance of mine also had work in China, and she was supposed to go back earlier this month. That has been delayed somewhat. I think she's going to go back later, but she has a baby, and apparently the baby can't go. So the baby's going to have to stay here in Korea while she will have to leave. So she's making arrangements for someone to take care of her child.
Far-reaching implications.
Far-reaching indeed.
Yeah. Some information about the classes if you're interested to know. So for these primary school students, each class will last about 20 minutes. That's 15 minutes shorter than a regular class would be on campus. And each day there will be about 5 to 6 classes, so students will spend no more than 2 hours looking at a screen, and there will be at least 20 minutes between classes. There will be physical exercise involved, and also eye exercises will be arranged as well.
그렇군요. 일반 컴퓨터뿐만 아니라 스마트폰이나 태블릿 PC를 통해서 온라인 수업을 받을 수 있게끔 지금 이렇게 준비를 하고 있다고 합니다. 그리고 하루에 2시간 이상 스크린을 보지 않도록 어떤 건강을 생각한 여러 가지 방침들도 세우고 있다고 합니다.
Yeah, universities, the situation is a little bit different. Universities are being asked to develop their own plans, and the commission will guide them to utilize resources provided by the Ministry of Education, and they will share high-quality courses. So they're leaving it up to the universities a little bit, but for the lower levels of education, they do have a set plan in place.
그렇군요. 초중 고교와 이제 대학교는 각각의 다른 방침을 세우고 있는 것 같고요. 이제 상하이가 이렇게 중요한 고비 때마다 의사결정을 좀 선도하는 모습을 보이고 있는데 아마 중국에서 많은 성과 도시들이 이렇게 따라서 하지 않을까 예측이 됩니다. 자, 두 번째 헤드라인으로 넘어가 볼게요.
Headline number 2 this morning. An additional 88 people have tested positive for COVID-19 on the quarantined Diamond Princess cruise ship off the Japan coast, bringing the total number of cases to 542.
일본 요코하마항에 정박한 크루즈선 다이아몬드 프린세스에서 88명의 코로나19 감염자가 추가 확인돼 총 542명으로 늘어났습니다.
So near the end of its 2-week quarantine, 88 more people aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Yokohama tested positive for COVID-19. That, according to the Japanese Health Ministry, they reported that on Tuesday, just yesterday. 65 of those people were experiencing no symptoms, such as fever or coughs. The total number of cases on the ship has now reached 542. The newly infected passengers, some information about them, they range in age from their teens to their 70s, and all passengers aboard the cruise ship who have tested negative, for the virus, they will be allowed to start disembarking starting today.
Talking about disembarking, I believe 7 Korean nationals aboard the Diamond Princess have asked to be transported back to Korea through chartered flights.
You're right. On Tuesday, Canada and South Korea were preparing to send chartered flights to Japan to evacuate their nationals. Korea was set to send a presidential aircraft on Tuesday to fly back 4 nationals and 1 Japanese spouse. There are 14 South Koreans on board in total, but the other 10 have declined to be evacuated from the ship because they live in Japan. And that's one of the things we talked about when this news came out, is that the option would be given. If you want to come back, you can. If you don't want to, you will not be forced to.
그렇습니다. 지금까지 이제 총 542명의 코로나 확진자가 다이아몬드 프린세스호에서 이렇게 발표가 된 상황이고요. 또 국내 이제 한국 국적을 가진 분들 중에 지금 어제 기준으로는 4명, 그다음에는 1명의 배우자인 일본 분까지 해서 전 세계로 돌아오는 것으로 예정이 돼 있는데 제가 알기로는 이제 승무원 중에도 몇 분이 추가가 된 것으로 알고 있습니다.
Yeah, I was watching CNN last night, and some of the media and some of the passengers on the ship, they're not happy with the situation. Just an update on the United States and Australia, as a matter of fact. They have told citizens that if they decline repatriation and an additional 14-day quarantine, they're not going to be allowed to come home for at least 2 weeks. And that suggests that they don't believe that the ship-based quarantine has worked at all.
All right. Well, we'll move on now to our next headline.
Germany and Iran have carried out a prisoner swap.
네, 독일과 이란이 상대국 수감자를 맞교환했습니다.
Iran's judiciary spokesman on Tuesday said a German prisoner was freed on Monday in return for an Iranian national facing extradition from Germany to the United States. So the German citizen is unidentified, but had been serving a 3-year sentence for, quote unquote, taking photographs in sensitive locations. I don't know exactly what those locations were, but there was additional information that Iran had informed Germany that the prisoner would be freed on the condition that they do not extradite our citizen, the Iranian citizen, to the United States.
네, 그렇습니다. 이란에서 이제 독일 국적자 1명이 이제 독일로 돌아갔다 이렇게 발표를 했는데요. 이 독일인 같은 경우에는 이제 3년형 복역 중이었다고 합니다. 그리고 맞교환했다고 앞서 말씀을 드렸는데 이란 국적자도 마찬가지 1명이 이제 귀국을 했다. 수감 중이었던 1명이 이제 이렇게 서로 맞교환된 것입니다.
The Iranian citizen is Ahmad Khalili, and he was freed on Sunday and flew home with Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, who was in Germany to attend a security conference in Munich last week. And according to the Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Abbas Mousavi, the United States had requested his arrest and extradition. Khalili had been detained in Germany for violation of U.S. sanctions. That's the reason for that request for extradition. But that is not going to be happening as he has returned to Iran. No comment yet from Iranian, German, or U.S. officials about the exact nature of the charges against Khalili or his activities.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how this is going to affect the diplomatic relations between Washington as well as Germany and Iran here.
Yeah, no comment so far.
Okay, final headline.
Authorities in the state of Mississippi have declared a state of emergency amid a historic flooding.
2월 폭우로 미국 미시시피주 일대 물난리가 나면서 주 당국이 비상사태를 선포했습니다.
Historic flooding in the state of Mississippi should begin to recede this week, they say, but not before a flash flood warning could bring more rain for thousands of residents. Have you seen the images online?
Yeah, I can only see the roofs of the houses.
Yeah, exactly. It's a terrifying situation. So what happened was the Pearl River in Jackson, Mississippi, it crested on Monday at 11 meters. That's the third highest crest on record. And it left roads covered in water, not just covered in water, submerged in water, and hundreds of homes damaged. The river's highest level on record is 13 meters. That was back in 1979. The next one after that was 12 meters. That was in 1983. So that gives you an idea of how serious this is.
네, 그렇습니다. 그 Pearl River가 crested 됐다 이런 표현을 쓰셨는데요. 펄강이 범람했다 이런 의미가 되겠습니다. 건물이 한 2,400채 정도 침수되고 또 이제 많은 사람들이 고립되는 피해를 보고 있는데요. 지금 영상 띄워드리고 있습니다. 보시다시피 집의 지붕만 지금 보이고요. It looks like some of these places are, totally submerged. All you can see, as I said, are the roofs in some of the areas here.
Yeah, and a lot of homes damaged, hundreds of homes damaged because of the flooding. That number is expected by officials to reach at least 1,000. Governor Tate Reeves did declare a state of emergency over the weekend, and Reeves later tweeted out that he had received a call from President Donald Trump offering assistance to the state.
네. 1979년에도 비슷한 일이 있었고요. 1983년에도 마찬가지였는데 이번에 역대 세 번째로 펄강이 높은 수위를 기록하면서 물바다가 만들어졌다는 소식입니다. Those were our headlines this morning. Let's remind our listeners now of the quiz.
The Korean monster Ryu Hyun-jin is currently a blank for the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 1, pitcher. Number 2, sitter. Number 3, matcher.
계속해서 정답 보내주시고요. 골칼슘 쌀룬 두유 총 5분께 보내드리겠습니다. Now it's time for our first song of the day and the song that we'll be singing maybe happy birthday or congratulations to. This is Queen, We Will Rock You.
Oh, no.
Boy, are we in trouble. We have to sing this today. 자, 이번 주에 저희들이 미션을 하나 드렸죠. 축하 사연 많이 보내주세요. 그러면 첫 곡에 맞춰서 저희가 축하 노래를 불러드리겠습니다. 이렇게 말씀을 드렸는데요. 오늘의 첫 곡은 퀸의 We Will Rock You였기 때문에 이 멜로디에 맞춰서 저희가 축하 노래 곧 불러드리도록 하겠습니다. Alright. 자, 한영숙님의 사연부터 볼게요. 이제 곧 MLB 스프링 캠프가 끝나고 곧 개막전이 시작되겠죠? 류현진 선수 올해도 응원합니다. 라고 보내주셨어요.
Yeah, we call it spring training. And it's happening right now. In America. My favorite team, the New York Yankees, they have their training camp, spring training in Florida. A lot of teams have their training in Florida because of the warm weather at this time of year. Other teams in Arizona, I believe. But yeah, you know, it's a really popular thing. A lot of people in the area, they'll travel there. And it's
Just to watch them training?
It's just practice. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, people haven't seen baseball since October.
Oh, yeah.
So they're hungry for it, right? So, and plus you get to see some of the players who may or may not make the team. You get to see things that you don't get to see during the regular season.
Have you ever been to these
No,
training?
I haven't, but my father has been
Wow, that's so cool.
on numerous occasions. Yeah. My dad's favorite team is the Boston Red Sox, which is interesting because the Yankees and the Red Sox are big rivals, right? And the Red Sox also have their spring training in Florida too. So Dad has visited the Red Sox more than once. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now I'm going to ask you what could be a bit of a dumb question.
Sure.
Are the Chicago Bulls a basketball team or a baseball team?
They are a basketball team. Yeah. Chicago, they have two Major League Baseball teams, but neither of which are the Bulls.
I see.
The Chicago Bulls, that's who Michael Jordan played for.
Oh, okay. Because my cousins who are born and raised in Chicago, they always used to tell me when I was younger that, you know, the Chicago Bulls are the best team in the world.
Yeah.
But I never really asked them, you know, what they play.
What sport?
I just always had Chicago Bulls. But I'm sorry, that's not baseball.
That was Michael Jordan's team.
I
yeah.
see. Okay. 네, 자 강영희님은요. 류현진 선수 건강하게 오래 활동하길 기원해요. Yeah, in the opening today, I mentioned that Ryu Hyun-jin was not picked as the I suppose the best pitcher because
The best pitcher in Major League Baseball? Or?
Yeah. The guy that was picked was Michael Brantley. And the reason was because Ryunjin, he has had some low points because of his health.
Okay.
So the critics said, had Ryu been healthy the whole time, he definitely would have been picked.
I see.
But because he had a few times where he had to step back because of the health issues that he had, not health issues, sorry, injuries, that was the reason that he was not picked, but he was definitely a runner-up.
He's a very good pitcher.
Yeah,
Ryu
definitely.
Hyun-jin is a really, really good pitcher, and I hope he does really well in Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. 4033님, Korean Monster 류현진을 함께 응원합니다. 김태화 이렇게 보내주셨어요. 잠깐 이동 중 듣는 EBS 늘 목마름이 있습니다. 어르신 댁에서 8시부터 돕고 있는 요양 보호사로 일하고 있어요. 영어만 들으면서 살고 싶어도 생업에 충실해야겠죠? 어르신을 도우면서 많이 행복합니다. This person is a caretaker for the elderly and he's working there right now. He says he would like to listen to our show but he has to work. So he's he has the radio on, I believe, but he says, I can't pay full attention because I have to do my job.
Yes, please do.
Please
That's a little more important, I think, than
Yes.
the news-focused stories over the next few minutes.
Absolutely.
You can catch up with us when you're free.
Yeah, indeed. And we do have a 축하 사연. 8197님입니다. 쌤들, good morning. 행복한 morning입니다. Morning special morning. 모하. Wow, that was a long greeting. 감사합니다. 드디어 올해 가장 중요한 날이 왔습니다. 저희 귀염둥 복동 이 아들 두 번째 생일입니다. 역시 우리 아들도 아빠 엄마 따라서 아침을 모닝이랑 시작합니다. 윌리엄 김 생일 축하하고 건강하게 이쁘게 커야 돼.
You go first.
Gosh.
William, you're a young boy. You do the next line.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, do you want to go slower?
No, let's do it.
Okay.
William, it's your birthday today. And you're 2 years old.
Cake on your face.
You're a... I don't know. Oh, my goodness.
Can we choose easier songs to sing happy birthday to, please?
Happy birthday. We will congratulate you.
No, we will, William.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes, 맞아요. William Kim 두 번째 생일 축하합니다. We will rock you에 따라서 노래를 좀 불러보려고 했는데요. 죄송합니다.
William's only 2 years old?
Yeah.
It's okay. He didn't understand what happened anyway.
That's good. 네. 계속해서 사연 많이 보내주세요. 장은정님은요. 두 분 재밌게 웃으시는 모습이 아침을 밝게 열어요. 모닝 몬스터 크크크. I love the way you brighten the morning, the both of you, says 장은정님. Thank you.
Very kind.
It's very nice. Yes, indeed. Well, I hope everyone is laughing with us. Let's take a look now at our news focus stories. 자, 이제 뉴스 포커스 살펴보겠습니다. 자, 첫 번째인데요. 코로나19의 최초 감염 경로가 중국 정부 산하 연구소라는 주장이 확산하는 가운데 중국 당국과 관영 매체가 연구소 유출설은 반정부 세력의 몰아가기 행위라며 비판에 나섰습니다. Let's listen to the story.
A research fellow from Wuhan Institute of Virology refuted rumors that claimed she accused the head of the institute of leaking a virus from the lab. The statement came after a Sina Weibo user made a post claiming that Chen reported the head of the institute, Wang Yanyi, because Wang sold experimental animals to Huanan Seafood Market and leaked the virus from the lab. The Internet Police of Jiangsu has also released a post on its Sina Weibo in which they said that the accuser used an overseas IP to log on to the SNS, and the account once self-claimed to be a member of a propaganda team.
Yeah, this is another one of the far-reaching, I suppose, sides of this, but not a good thing because so many rumors have been spreading about the coronavirus. This is, I suppose, one of them.
Had you heard this rumor that it was created in a lab and then released on purpose? Had you heard that rumor before?
I read about it,
Yeah.
yes.
I don't understand the motivation of people who go online and spread these rumors. For the sake of what? I don't understand. Do they get enjoyment from spreading fear amongst thousands, if not millions of people? What's the benefit? It's not a financial gain,
Yeah.
so I can't understand the motivation behind it. But
I mean, if it's true, then it is devastating news. And also we will have to hear about some of the facts and everything behind it. But if it's just a rumor...
That's what I mean.
Why?
If it's
Why?
just rumors and it's
Yeah.
known to not be true, then what's the point at all?
Yeah.
But this research fellow from Wuhan Institute of Virology, she has refuted these rumors that have been claimed online. So to refute something could have a couple of different meanings. It could be to deny You know, someone says, you did this, and then you say, no, I didn't. And when you say, no, I didn't, you are refuting that claim. Or it could be to prove something wrong. So, for example, one study said that 6 cups of coffee is really good for your health. Another study refuted that claim.
네,
They
반박하다.
proved it wrong. Yeah.
그렇죠. 반박하다, 부인하다, 논박하다라는 의미의 refute가 여기서 쓰인 것입니다. 정부 측에서는 말도 안 된다 이렇게 반박을 하고 있습니다.
Yeah, it is a rather formal word. You're probably not going to use this in your everyday life.
Right.
If someone says, "Hey, you took my pen," you say, "I refute that claim." Probably not. You would just say, "No, I didn't." But what you are doing is refuting when you say, "No, I didn't." But you are going to see it more used in the media.
Yeah.
Than you will in everyday use.
네, 격식이 있는 말이고 이제 반박이라는 말 자체를 평상시 대화에서는 많이 쓰지 않지만 그래도 뉴스에서 많이 들을 수 있습니다.
Yes, and she is refuting the claim that she accused the head of the institute of leaking a virus from the lab. So to accuse someone is to say that someone did something. You'll hear this a lot in courtroom dramas or police dramas. When they will say the accused,
Right.
and that's the person that they say committed a crime. But, you know, maybe many of our listeners know this word accuse. So I'll give you a usage of this word that maybe you don't know. And that would be an accusatory tone.
Okay.
Accusatory tone. Now, tone refers to the tone of your voice. And accusatory, it's kind of like the words that you're using.
Right.
So, if I say, Sue, have you seen my pen this morning? And Sue says, no. I say, well, it was right here, Sue. Now, the tone of my voice sounds like I'm accusing you,
Yeah,
right?
it does, yeah.
And that's what we call an accusatory tone.
아하. accuse someone of something 그러면은 누가 뭐뭐를 했다고 이제 책임을 묻는 이거 이렇게 했을 것이다 약간은 추측이 들어가 있는 건데요. accused 그러면은 이제 피의자라는 뜻이 있습니다. accusatory tone이라고 하면은 그 말하는 어조를 말하는데요. 나 펜 없어졌는데 이 방에 지금 너밖에 없잖아. 누가 가져갔을까? 이렇게 얘기를
Yeah,
하면은
that is definitely an accusatory tone.
네, 대놓고 이게 네가 가져갔지 하진 않았지만 이게 이제 어조, tone이 어조란 뜻이니까 accusatory tone. 이제 상대방이 잘못했다고 추측하는 어조가 되겠습니다.
And you can respond by saying, I don't appreciate your accusatory tone.
그렇군요. 너의 이런 어조를 나는 별로 이렇게 달갑게 받아들일 수가 없다. I don't appreciate that. 이렇게 얘기할 수 있습니다. Alright, let's move on now to our second news focus story. 자, 두 번째 news focus 살펴보겠습니다. 이번에는 아마존의 CEO에 대한 얘기인데요. 제프 베이조스, 아마존 최고 경영자가 기후변화를 막기 위해 과학자, 활동가 등 여러 단체들에게 100억 달러, 우리 돈으로 12조 원의 기금을 조성하기로 했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Jeff Bezos is throwing his weight behind the fight against climate change months after Amazon employees publicly pressured him and the company to do more to address the issue. Bezos announced a new fund to back scientists, activists, and organizations working to mitigate the impact of climate change. Bezos will commit $10 billion to start, he said in an Instagram post. Thousands of Amazon employees signed a letter last May asking how the company planned to respond to climate change, and many of them staged a walkout in September calling on it to do more. The initiative, called the Bezos Earth Fund, will begin giving out grants this summer.
Jeff Bezos in the headlines again. This time he says he's going to back the whole movement to help the climate.
Yeah, there was a picture of him in the media of him. He was standing on top of a wind turbine. Did you see the picture?
No, I didn't see that one.
Kind of weird.
Oh.
He was standing on top of a wind turbine, smashing a champagne bottle. And when you smash a champagne bottle on something, like on the side of a ship, a boat,
yeah.
it kind of signifies the
start of
the launch or
yeah.
the beginning. So I guess that's what that was about. But anyway, I think I'm going to complain to Jeff Bezos about something, because if you do it, apparently he donates $10 billion to something, which is a ton of money.
Yeah.
And that's what the Amazon employees did. They signed a letter. They said, we want to know what Amazon is going to do. They staged a walkout in September, which means they organized, for all the employees to physically walk out of the building. And now Jeff Bezos has responded, and he said, okay, how's $10 billion to start? Pretty impressive, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. So Jeff Bezos is throwing his weight behind the fight against climate change. Okay, this is a fun expression. And what it means is to use your influence to help or support something.
Right.
Now, influence is the key to this expression. Jeff Bezos is an extremely influential person. I'm sure he is very well connected. We learned that expression recently. And he has a ton of money.
Yeah.
So when Jeff Bezos wants to support something financially, we can say he is throwing his weight behind that thing because he has power and influence.
영향력을 행사하다라는 뜻으로 throw one's weight behind 무엇 어떤 것에 있어서 본인의 영향력을 행사한다 이런 뜻이죠.
Now, power and influence is relative, right?
Yeah.
What about if your friend is running for class president and you were going to run for class president, but you decided, no, I'm going to support my friend. Then you can say, I'm going to throw my weight behind my friend to support him or her for class president, because you do have some power in the classroom. Do you see what I mean? So the power is relative.
네, 여기서는 이제 후원하다라는 의미로도 보실 수 있을 것 같아요. 같은 반 동급생이 이번에 회장 선거에 나간다. 이 아이를 내가 지지하겠다라는 의미로도 I'm going to throw my weight behind such and such.
Yeah,
이렇게 얘기를 할 수
exactly.
있습니다.
One final example at the office. If your team decides that they want to ask the CEO to make a change, and you go to your manager and you say, will you support us? Will you support our cause? Your manager can say, yeah, I'll throw my weight behind that, because your manager has some power or influence.
아하, 지지하다라는 뜻이 있는데 보통 이렇게 하는 사람 자체가 어떤 영향력이 있을 때 많이 씁니다. Okay, well, those were our first two news-focused stories. 퀴즈를 한 번 더 알려드리겠습니다.
The Korean monster Ryu Hyun-jin is currently a blank for the Toronto Blue Jays. Number 1, pitcher. Number 2, sitter. Number 3, matcher.
네, 정답 계속해서 보내주세요. 고칼슘 쌀룬 두유 보내드리겠습니다.
Do you know the answer?
It's tricky.
Only one of those is a baseball term. I'll give you a clue. That's a clue.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that one over a song.
Sure.
Maroon 5, Memories 듣고 오겠습니다. And that is currently my favorite song.
Yeah?
Yeah, love it.
You're a Maroon 5 fan?
I like Maroon 5 anyway, but that particular song is based on the canon. If you
That's the
classical
one you
music.
were trying to tell me about before when
Yeah.
you said Taco Bell, and I
Taco
thought
Bell.
you said Taco Bell.
That's the one. Yep, exactly. Taco Bell's canon in the background there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at our third news focus story. 세 번째 news focus 살펴보겠습니다. 영국 소식인데요. 보리스 존슨 총리실의 참모인 앤드루 사비스키가 과거 인종 비하 발언이 논란이 돼 사임했습니다. 그를 발탁한 배경을 둘러싸고 존슨 총리에게 입장 표명 요구가 커지면서 후폭풍이 일고 있는데요. Let's listen to the story.
A controversial new advisor to UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned after MPs and experts accused the government of condoning his claims that intelligence is linked to race. Andrew Sabisky, who was hired by Johnson's senior aide Dominic Cummings, became the subject of intense media scrutiny after details emerged of his views on subjects ranging from black people's IQs to whether benefits claimants should be encouraged to have fewer children. Sabisky, a 27-year-old who describes himself as a super forecaster, had been contracted to work on special projects for Cummings, who had said in a job ad that he was seeking a team to find and exploit very high leverage ideas that will almost inevitably seem bad to most. Well, if you were looking for bad ideas, you got them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the man in question here is Andrew Sabisky, and apparently he said something in the past about how people of color were not as smart as people who are white, for example.
Yeah, and if you are looking for welfare, so if you're looking for social welfare, maybe you shouldn't be having so many children, things related to that topic. Can't say those things.
No, absolutely not. And even if you said it in the past, it is now problematic. For that, he has stepped down.
Yes, exactly. And he stepped down because experts accuse the government of condoning his claims. So to condone something, it means that you are supporting somehow, some way. You're allowing something to happen. I'll give you an easy example. If you are with your husband or your wife and your child, and your child uses a bad word, okay, and your husband, he just laughs, ha 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 ha. The wife can say, don't condone that behavior. Don't say that that's okay. By laughing, you are condoning what our child is doing. You are supporting it somehow. You're saying it's no problem at all.
Right. condone 그러면은 용납하다라는 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 평소에 좋지 않다고 생각하는 것을 좀 넘어갈 때, 용납할 때 쓸 수 있는 표현이고 sometimes on television I think you'll hear presenters say we do not condone the use of I don't know, violence or
yes, exactly.
foul language,
yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
이렇게 뭐 폭력을 사용하는 것을 저희 방송에서는 절대로 용납하지 않습니다라는 식으로 영어 방송에서 많이 이 단어를 써요. We do not condone 뭐뭐뭐 이렇게 씁니다.
And in the job ad, which was an interesting advertisement in the first place that Dominic Cummings had placed, it said he was looking for a team to find and exploit very high leverage ideas that will almost inevitably seem bad to most. So if something is inevitable, it means it is going to happen. Is it going to rain one more day in 2020? Between now and the end of the year?
Inevitably.
Yeah, it's inevitable. It's going to happen, right? So when you say ideas that will inevitably seem bad to most, it means these people will think these ideas are bad. It is definitely going to happen.
그렇죠. 불가피하게 이런 뜻이 있습니다. 그래서 처음에 이제 사비스키가 다른 사람들은 불가피하게 좋지 않다고 생각하는 아이디어들을 나는 이제 잘 퍼뜨리려고 한다. 그런 얘기를 했었다고 해요. So now people are asking why the Prime Minister's office in the UK hired him in the first place.
Yes, exactly.
네. Lots of questions unanswered there. And that was our third news focus story. 자, 그러면 퀴즈 정답 발표하겠습니다.
The Korean monster Ryu Hyun-jin is currently a blank for the Toronto Blue Jays. The answer is number 1. Pitcher.
Pitcher. 1번 정답 맞춰주신 원인호님, 박봉우님, 신초아님, 5503님, 그리고 4033님 축하드립니다. 고칼슘 살룬 두유 보내드릴게요. Steve, what is the expression of the day?
Let's talk about crash course. I had mentioned when we were talking about the story from China where they're going to be having online classes because the schools will be closed.
Yes.
I said that I saw that Facebook post from a girl here in Korea who said that she needed a crash course on Korea because she was a teacher in China. She had never really spent any time in Korea and she needed a crash course. So, a crash course is when you are told the basic details about something, and those basic details allow you to function or allow you to do a job. You're not being given all of the information. You're only being given the absolute essential information that allows you to do the job or to function.
And I think you use this word before, like the day before an exam when you study as well, right? You can crash for an exam? Is that a
that's
different
cram.
That's, sorry.
That's cram.
That's cram.
Yeah.
그러네요. 제가 착각했습니다.
Yeah. So if you are, this is a perfect example. I'll be hanging around for hour number 2 today. today.
Yes, you will.
To fill in for Alex. I've never done the travel segment before. So during the break, I will ask Paul for a crash course in the travel segment. Just tell me the basic details, the essential details that I need to know so that I can do the segment perfectly, or at least to a bare minimum.
네, 스티브 선생님이 오늘은 2부에도 함께 해주실 건데요. 수요일 2부를 안 해보셨기 때문에 집중 강좌를 이제 지금 작가님과 PD님으로부터 받을 거다. 이런 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 크래시 코스 받고 2부에
Or
돌아오겠습니다.
I might just go get a coffee and come back.
That sounds good too. 자, 노래 듣고 올게요. Irene Cara의 What a Feeling 듣고 2부에 스티브 선생님과 제가 같이 돌아오겠습니다.